This is the UtXOracle version 9 introduction video. UtXOracle is the open source program for getting the Bitcoin price directly from your node. This has been of a breakthrough, as before we used third-party apps and websites to tell us the price of Bitcoin. UtXOracle allows you to get the Bitcoin price directly from your own node with open source software. Anyone is free to download the latest version of UtXOracle at UtXOPro. I'm going to go to UtXOPro right now and show you some of the features of version 9 and how to download it. This is the output that you'll get after you run the program in your local terminal window running on a computer that runs a Bitcoin node. I'm having to show you the price from April 22nd, 2025 right now. The UtXOracle consensus price is important because this is the same price that everyone is going to get. Not only the same price, but every single dot in this scatter plot is identical for everyone who runs this program on the same day. This is the price range here. On the x-axis, we have the UTC times of the date that you're running for. We also have the block heights, beginning of the day on April 22nd. And the end of the day on April 22nd. Note that this is UTC times. UTC times are going to be different than your local time. For example, the end of the day at UTC happens around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if you are interested in closing price at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you're going to need to go back approximately 3 hours from the end of day UTC, and that might change a little during daylight savings time. Every dot on this chart is a Bitcoin transaction output coming from your node. We're dealing with hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin outputs. The price emerges because of the UtXOracle algorithm looks at the round amount of dollar transactions in Bitcoin. So because people send round amounts of dollars way more frequently than they send just random amounts of Bitcoin, the price emerges as like a sharp, tight band. It's indistinguishable. I mean, it's totally kind of unquestionably there. It just pops out every time you run this. Because version 9 is doing these charts in JavaScript, I can do this mouse over here. So you can just run your mouse over the line and see the price at any point that you like. You see we had a nice strong upward day on April 22nd. Closed out around 93,000. But what I'm calling the consensus price is going to be the average price of the day. The average price for version 9 is done in a much better way than version 8. To find the average price, we measure the distance from each dot to every other dot. And we look for the dot that has the smallest distance on average to every other dot. That's going to centrally locate us on a price on this line, wherever the center of the cluster is. This is important, I think, in kind of a historical way, because when we think about the history of Bitcoin price, and we want that to be somehow written in stone, somehow consensus, somehow something everybody can agree upon, this, I think, is the way to do it. And that's why I've put so much effort recently into getting this out there so everyone can see that this price really is on chain. And there really is a very natural way to establish the consensus average price for every day. So I'm at UtXOPro right now. I'm on the historical tab. If you click on if you click back or just click on the price history here, you can see the history of how accurate UtXOracle is compared to something like Coinbase. It's pretty much right on the money. I've also recently added to this website charts for every day that you want to go see. So if you want to click on a chart for, today is the 5th of May, happy Cinco de Mayo. If we look at the chart for yesterday, here's the chart for yesterday. You can see pretty tight band, exact same format, uh, consensus price 95,000. Had a little bit of drop off at the end of the day when there's a lot of uncertainty in the prices, either amongst exchanges or amongst block times or other forms of uncertainty. You'll see this band start to widen a little bit when all of the exchanges have the exact same price and fees are relatively constant and there's not a lot of noise on chain. You'll see very tight bands. You will occasionally see times when blocks don't have price information, but that's very rare. Again, we have like hundreds of thousands of data points every day, so there's never any problem in finding a consensus average price for the day. Imagine a lot of you guys are here to watch this thing or to run this thing locally yourself. All the source code is available here. I've got a new license available here if you're a third-party app wondering how you can integrate this into your product. Check that out. Click on Run Local for information to how to run it yourself. It's a lot easier than I think you imagine for someone that is running a Bitcoin node themselves, and they also know how to open a command window. This is the first time running a command window yourself, this is probably the easiest way to do it. If you're on Windows, just go to Start, Search, and type CMD, and you'll see the option to open a command window. On Mac, it's called Terminal. It's in your Applications, Utilities folder in Terminal. If you're on Linux, chances are you probably already know how to do this. I think you can run command window with Control T from Linux, or just look in your Applications folder and you'll find that. You can do it in pretty much 2 steps. I've put a lot of work into this to make this work out of the box for pretty much everybody. I'm just going to open a command window here and type that in. So command window here is called Terminal on Mac. Curl is the program you use to download applications off the website, or just download files off the web from command line. Curl, UTXO, the website, UtXOracle.py. Takes about 2 seconds there. This is a very light file. It's only a couple thousand lines, just written in plain text, and it's only 1 file. And then to run it, you just write Python 3 UtXOracle.py. There's a couple different modes you can run the Oracle in. If you want to do -H, that will tell you what all of the options are. I'm going to run it in recent block mode because new in version 9 also allows you to run it up to the most recent confirmed block. So pretty much as up to date as you can get it. Remember that we're dealing with hundreds of thousands of data points here and analyzing them. So this is a big data program, but given that, it runs pretty fast. Right now we're finding the last 144 blocks. We're talking to Bitcoin Core to see were there any orphan blocks, making sure the blocks are in the right order. We make a map of where this data is stored on your disk in binary. Also new in version 9 is that I've made this much more efficient, and I'm reading block files directly instead of asking Core for every block. You can see that all of this is happening in real time. I'm not speeding up this video or anything. Finally, we're finding the prices and we're rendering the plot. Here it is writing all of these data points to a JavaScript file, and as soon as it's finished doing that, it will show us the average price and open the file automatically in your browser. This looks like a website, and but the program is writing a local web page to your local computer and serving that web page in your browser. So all this data comes directly from your computer. Even if you turned your Wi-Fi off, this would still work. So this is the recent block mode of UtXOracle. This is actually the first time I've seen this chart because I just ran it just now. So local node blocks, 895,218 is where we started at, to 895,362. And this was the price just now. It looks like we have a pretty flat price, a little bit of a dip this morning, and then leveled off with an average of the 144 block window of 94,739. This does load 144 blocks, so basically like 24 hours of the of recent block data. And this is called the UtXOracle block window price. I'm not going to call this a consensus price because I'm trying to officially use that consensus price to mean data that is guaranteed to be the same on everybody's node. Technically, when you run blocks, you could have some orphan blocks over here on the far right. There's a small chance that you and somebody else might have the different last couple blocks. So this area right here could be different, which could technically give you a different average price. So I'm not going to call it a consensus price unless you're running the 24-hour average, and you're running that 6 blocks after the UTC day ends. Then that'll be a consensus price. So if you're running this in recent block mode like I just did, and you just want the latest, you'll just have to look here and do a tooltip and see what the latest is. And that will tell you. You can see that I'm running this at 13:10 UTC time. That was the last time we got a block. I'm recording this at 9:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's all about right. So that's it. Let's see, what else can I show you? So back to the main page. Right, so here I have yesterday's price. You can always just come here and see what yesterday's price is if you'd like. Here's the source code. Like I said, the current version is version 9. If you want to look at previous versions, I have version 8 and version 7 listed down there. And finally, if you want to see the most absolute latest up-to-date prices, including the mempool price, I'm always live streaming the UtXOracle, both on UtXOPro and on my YouTube channel. It's taking a little bit to come up here, probably because I'm doing screen recording and running the Oracle at the same time. But you can always find my UtXOracle channel on YouTube. I'm streaming the mempool price here. Mempool price is never going to be the same for everyone because everyone gets transactions in different orders and has different mempools. So I'm not releasing the open source code to get the most live up-to-date price from your mempool. I have a philosophy behind that I've written in the license. I think the open source stuff is most suited to the consensus prices. I think the live mempool stuff lends itself to kind of a more service provider oriented product because, like I said, there's no way everyone can get the same one. So I'm going to reserve the mempool live updating code for my own kind of commercial purposes. So there it is. Check all that out. Check out UtXOPro and find me on Twitter. I'm Simple Steve. And thanks for watching.